singular game this season. Game one was, or not this season, but this postseason, we shouldn't have lost a singular game.
Okay.
And then game one was a prime example of playing down. No MVP, Joel Embiid. And then, okay, yes, everybody got a piece, but you know where I'm going, and I'm keeping it until he retires. Aloysius Horford.
Oh my goodness.
You knew it was coming.
No, 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 no. All right, we got to cut it out at a certain point. We're not about to put any blame on Al Horford.
James Harden is 6'5" at best. He's had one move his entire career.
Dre, you're not going to sit here and try to put any of this on Al Horford. This man had 45. He was giving them all work.
Kevin Love, who was slower laterally and shorter, found a way to shuffle his feet for one possession to stop Steph Curry. Steph Curry, James Harden.
Al Horford's old now, man. That was prime.
Kevin Love was old then. What did Kevin Love do after that series? Fall off.
Everybody does when they stop playing with LeBron.
No, not well. Kyrie still averaging 27. I'm not saying good.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but seriously here, we're not about to put this on Al Horford. Jaylen Brown took 10 shots. Are we going to talk about that?
I'm not surprised by that.
Do we not think that's a problem?
No, he should be shooting the ball more. Yes, I completely agree. I said I'm going to be an objective Celtics fan, but I had to get my Al Horford slander because until he retires, and the fact that he got, what did I text you? Before I ever watched the highlight, what did I text you? Who got the, because I saw James Harden get the game-winning bucket. They don't say who he scored on. It's just James Harden turned back the clock. Who did he get? So like, who had that bucket? He was like, what you had to tell me, Joe?
He did text me after I talked to him about the game because it was a great game. You know, the Celtics and Sixers, besides the game yesterday where the Celtics blew them out, they've had great close games all year. But yeah, the Sixers pulled it out. And Dre did text me. He asked, "Oh, who did Harden score on?" On like the big last bucket to kind of seal it. I was like, "Oh shoot, I hope it wasn't Al Horford." I had to go back and watch it myself, and I was like, "Oh, it was." But everybody was getting work. Jaylen Brown was getting it. Marcus Smart was getting it. It wasn't just Al Horford, but yeah, he did get a free right in his face.
So I will say, series recap for that series as a whole. I'm disappointed in my Celtics overall. We should not have lost a game this postseason. They are proving my point that we play down too often. We have a potential future MVP candidate, Jason Tatum. We have I'd be surprised if Jaylen Brown doesn't wind up on an all NBA team. So all NBA caliber player. Marcus Smart I didn't know this was a thing, Joe, but he just won. It was just enough. He just won the hustle player of the year. So we gotta at least, and didn't he win DPOY like 2 seasons ago?
I believe so, yes.
I think he won it over a big man, and everybody was mad, or probably over Rudy, and that's not a bad thing. But we're not gonna talk about Rudis either. But no, like we have a former DPOY who is winning quote unquote awards for his hustle mentality. We have all the pieces. I just feel like we play down too often. So overall, I believe we will come out of this series, but I do not believe that because like how crazy is it that when the MVP, Joel Embiid, the guy, now yes, he was coming back from injury, but the guy is back and we find a way to mop the floor. But then when he's not there, we get beat. And yes, it was a quote unquote close game, it was a good game, but we found a way to lose. It's too much inconsistencies. At some point, you always hear that playoff team when and I know it's old school, it's older basketball, but there's a gear. You see the Warriors were able to turn it on, right? LeBron is able to turn it on damn near every year. I haven't seen that from this team yet. Like there's something missing. So
okay. So before I go into my recap of the series overall and what I think is going to happen, what do you think? Why do you think that piece is missing? Is it? I've heard people talk about like a lack of motivation, but I mean they're NBA players. You're in the playoffs. I mean this is the motivation. So is it a matter? What are your thoughts there as a fan?
Oh God, I'm gonna quote Skip Bayless. for lack of a better term. The mentality, the that the second best player on the team has the mentality you want the best player to have.
I apologize. I didn't mean to laugh. Shout out to Skip Bayless. If anybody there watches Undisputed, those guys are ridiculous. They were talking about somebody earlier this week, and I apologize for cutting you off.
No, you're fine.
But Shannon was like, as you would say, Skip, he can't even jump higher than Ernestine.
That was crazy.
And then Skip was like, Ernestine can really leap, y'all. I'm like, oh,
they out here having a good time, but that's why we love Uncle Shannon.
Sorry, go ahead.
But no, I believe. Okay, I'll put it this way. As you know, I believe Jaylen Brown is the better player on the team. When you watch at least there's a. Oh boy, it's going to sound slanderous, but I need y'all to listen to me. There's a thing with basketball where it becomes like an IQ thing, right? Now I know the game has become very heavily towards shooting 3-pointers because it makes sense. 3 is more than 2. The long 2-point shot analytically, it's not a great shot, but Kobe made a career off it. DeMar DeRozan is a multi-millionaire off of it, playoff performer. Like the mid-range shot is still good, right? But if the 3 isn't falling, you got to see it go on the rim. You got to see it good. Everybody knows that. If you hoop at all, you got to see one go in. If the 3-pointer isn't working, you drive the lane, right? You get that going, then you work your way out, inside out. That's how the game used to be. I think that's how Jaylen Brown plays. And that's why most of the time, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum work. Jason Tatum is more of a, let me shimmy you, I can get in my Duffy, I'm gonna shoot over you. Jaylen Brown I got the Euro, I'm gonna take the hard foul, and Jason Tatum has that ability, but he's more naturally a perimeter type of scorer. Jaylen Brown, I think, goes inside more, but he can also make 7 3-pointers, right? So Jaylen Brown, I believe, is the more complete player, but he also will take a foot off the gas in letting other people cook, quote unquote. I think too often Jason Tatum settles